Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rob from Next Truck Sales. I want to introduce you to our 2014 Peterbilt 386. This features a PACCAR MX-13 at 455 horsepower and 1650 torque with a 13-speed Eaton manual transmission. It's got great tires, an 80-inch single bed sleeper, refrigerator, inverter, and a bunk heater. Nice truck, one owner, well maintained. I'll take you through the truck. You can go through the features and specs. We've spent some money on it to make it nice. It's going to come DOT certified, cold air conditioning, no leaks, ready to go to work, and delivery included to Buffalo. We are in Canada. The truck is in Canada. The title is in Canada, and we will drop the truck in Buffalo once we're paid in full. So have a look at this. The process, we take care of everything as far as getting the truck from Canada to Buffalo. We'll walk you through all the paperwork that you need, and never had a hiccup in 3 years, and we do quite a few trucks every year. So let's walk you through the truck. I'll show it to you. I'll get it fired up and let you have a listen. And then if you have any questions, you feel free to give me a call. My contact information will be at the end of this video. So I'll give you a good look here. This is the 386. So this is kind of a hybrid. It's got the we'll call it the 389 or the 379 interior, but it's got a slope nose, sort of an aerodynamic. So it's kind of a hybrid truck. Give you a good look here. You can see the 80-inch sleeper on the back. Interestingly, when they measure from here, and then they measure to some imaginary point, not necessarily to the front of that sleeper, but to the somewhere at the back of the driver's seat. And everybody's fighting to say that their sleeper's bigger than the next guy. So if you get out a tape measure, I'm not sure how it measures up, but I know it's the 80-inch sleeper. It's the largest sleeper that Peterbilt makes. So if you look here, we have done some body work repairs to it. We did repaint the front bumper. It had some stone chips on it. We did not repair this skirt. You can see there's a piece of it missing, a couple of scratches, and a little bit of a wow in the aluminum step here. One feature I really do like on the Peterbilt is this door that opens. I think this one's locked. The other one's open. It gives you access to the batteries on the other side if you need to boost it without having to use tools. I don't think any other manufacturer, maybe Volvo pops off, the Max pop off, but the Peterbilt by far are the easiest to access their batteries. I think everybody should make their batteries easily accessible like that on this style. I'll give you a look at the back here. It's clean. You'll see it's got 10 nearly new tires. These are Yokohama. Yokohamas are made in, I believe, Japan. I apologize. These ones are made in Thailand. We'll call them offshore tires. Yokohamas are good tires. They're not Chinese. I know Chinese kind of have a stigma that they're not the best tires, but they're round, they're black, they hold air. These are virgins, and they probably got, I would say, 80% tread. Certainly better than 22, 24, 30 seconds of tread. They're matched, and there's no uneven wear going on with them. Maybe a little tiny bit of something going on here, but overall looks really good. We've sandblasted and painted the frame. You can see where they're in there. You'll see a little bit of where there was corrosion, and that's because there was probably a chain rack or something hanging on there, a toolbox that's since been removed, and that's where the salt in that will accumulate and kind of rot that out. So we've sandblasted it and put a fresh coat of polyurethane paint on it. Have a look here. You'll see there's a little bit of corrosion going on the bunk shock as well. Actually, the cover's missing. And you'll see here that there's a spare tire mount here, which you can use or not. We've got a good spot if you wanted to hang an APU, likely, and you can see the underslung exhaust right there, and that's where your that goes in lieu of any sort of tailpipes that you'll see up the back of the cab. We've got 10 aluminum wheels, I believe. Let's have a look in here. Yeah, so we got 4 on this side. We've got the Pete low leaf air suspension. Let's be sure of that. Yeah, this is the Pete low leaf suspension, 4 airbag system. We've got stainless steel mud flap hangers. You've got your standard tail light and reverse light mount. Okay, here you can see it's been painted. There was some corrosion that's been blasted off, and that's where you can kind of see the inconsistencies in the reflection. But again, you know, it's a used truck. It's a 10-year-old used truck, so, or 9 years old, so that's what you're going to get. And regardless, for the price point compared to a new one, It looks awesome. You'll see here we've got eight aluminum wheels on the back. We've polished them, so you can see we have a robotic polisher here. We run them through there and you can see how nice they come up. We've got twin 150-gallon tanks, and your side step access is here. Okay, going to the back here, you will see fairing extenders in good shape, and the top of the cab is open. Okay, or the roof cap is open, so there's no closing panel on there. Some trucks do, this particular one does not. I'll take you under the hood before we head on inside, and then I'll start the truck and let you have a listen to the engine running. Okay, so you can see in here, not only did we sandblast and paint the frame, but we sandblasted and painted pretty much everything that you can see. It looks nice. It's all cleaned up. A little bit of corrosion that's dripped down when it gets washed. This is the PACCAR 455, I believe. So if you look there, it says 455. Okay, we've got a central grease point, which will cover off your suspension bushings, possibly your throw bearing, and we've got good Firestone North American US made Firestone steers. They're at least 80% as well, and they're matched, no uneven wear. Centromatic halo balancers and polished steers. This is the bumper we painted. It wasn't broken, it just had a lot of stone chips on it. I'll show you on the hood, there was some stone chips there, but we didn't want to get into painting the whole hood because I don't think they're that bad. So we left the hood, but we painted the bumper. To have a look underneath here, I'll come back to this with the engine running. We've got a little bit of, I'll call it sandblast sand stuck to the pan, and then it got painted over, which is kind of typical. You can only kind of mask off so much of the engine when you're painting it. The PACCAR 455, this is the 2013 engine, so this is the second gen. I see it's got a newer turbo and a newer EGR valve on there. Not sure about the back pressure valve, but it doesn't look old, it doesn't look new. These engines are great for good fuel economy, they're good for longevity as far as catastrophic failures go, and they're also good on fuel, and they're quiet. So a lot of good features. One of the drawbacks to this engine is you're kind of forced to go to the dealer unless you have a good PACCAR guy. So I would say consider this engine in your fleet if you have a good mechanic that knows the product. They do require a lot of special tools, as does every engine, but because it's not as popular, not a lot of shops have gone out and invested the $30-some-odd thousand that you need in order to do servicing on this engine, and that's prohibited to the truck owner that needs to get some kind of repair and has some type of a failure, a check engine light or something like that, and the mechanic doesn't want to work on it. So consider that as you're looking at this video. It is well built. If you look, you'll see the wiring harness. There's no loose wires on this engine, which I like. Everything is in a nice loom, tied up neat and clean. Your fuel filter is here, your oil filter is over on the other side, and then you've got another oil filter down here. So I'm going to, enough of the engine part of it, let me take you inside. A couple of other quick things. So we've got, it's certified clean idle, so this truck can be driven in the state of California. That's actually a picture of the state of California there. That battery thing I was talking to you about, if you look there, you'll see, so the batteries look like they're a year old, and look at how easy you can access them. I just absolutely love that feature. Unfortunately, they're the only truck manufacturer that makes it so easy to get at. Coming inside here, I'll show you a couple of other things. If you look here, you'll see this vehicle conforms to the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards Act in effect at the time of manufacture, meaning that it complies to US DOT standards. Now, we had a refrigerator left on in here, so the batteries were a little bit low. I'm gonna fire it up. So if it's a little lazy to turn over, it's because we left the fridge on, and it also means the fridge is cold. So let's go in here. It's been slightly customized. We've got a white steering wheel, we've got a white shifter, some white knobs, and a fairly bit of cosmetic chrome. So let's fire it up and have a listen. So you'll see they're just a little bit lazy to start, but like I said, the batteries were quite low when we went to start it, just to bring it up here for the video. And I was just going through the truck to understand what it was and noticed that the fridge was left on. So we're going to get, that's why I was lazy, I guess is the point. So let's just go through here. So we've got full gauges, oil pressure, water temp, voltage, 895,000 hours, sorry, 895,000 miles, 11,000 hours. Have a look here. I'll get you a look. So you've got fan override, that's a nice feature. We've got the engine brake on and off and high, medium, low. Cruise is here. Your air conditioning is here. Sleeper buttons, lots of spare buttons. Standard differential lock. Fifth wheel slide. Suspension dump. Trans temps. Fuel pressure. It's not fuel pressure. That's a def gauge there. And then you've got some remotes. So if you look here, you'll notice it has some cameras. So if you look on the side below the mirror right there, you'll see a camera, and over here you'll see a camera as well. And then on the back of the cab, on the front of the cab, we've got a dash mounted cam. So that is tied into this system, which is kind of cool. Let me take you into the back. Turn on some lights. All the lights seem to be working. I just tried them. I'm not going to turn them all back on, but I'll turn them on enough that you can see what's going on here. That'll give us enough light to see. I'll open up the window. That'll give you a little more light to see as well. So we've got an S-bar bunk heater. Okay. We've got a timer. We've got your bunk light. We've got controls for your rear air conditioning. Your refrigerator is in here. And lift it up, and you'll see that we've got, it's cold. It was cold. I just turned it off about 10 minutes ago. So I'm gonna leave that in vent mode, which is when you leave that. So cool thing about these fridges, they have this little gauge here, and they've got that, or that little wheel, and then you've got this latch at the top. And the point of that is you leave it like that, and it's not quite shut. Okay, but it isn't going to slam around. It's not going to slam open and closed. It might go back and forth a little bit. And the point of that is to allow you to air it out. If you leave the truck for an extended period of time, you don't come back to a stinky fridge. Inside of here, we have no cupboard doors, which, take it or leave it, that's the way it came. And I quite like it because it means that you're not going to have cupboards rattling on you. We've got another cupboard curtain as the door, so no rattles, or less rattles than you'd have in your standard truck with cupboard doors that like to rattle. We've got full carpet, and if you look here, we've got our inverter, which is connected to this, a brand new mattress, and a single bed. You've got some storage up top there. Okay, if I lift up the bed and give you a look, we've got full carpet in the back. And there's your inverter. Lots of storage in here. Full pass-through. If you wanted to put load bars in there. Fire extinguisher, and your bunk heater is down there, as well as your factory air conditioning system is here. Okay, give you a look. Just give you a wide angle look. This is a Unibilt sleeper, so it's a two-part sleeper, meaning that this section is actually a physical different component from the cab. So you could take it off and make it into a day cab. They stopped making these when they went to the Ultra Loft 579, and that was kind of the last of those. But this Unibilt sleeper's been around for forever. So I'll give you a good wide angle perspective here with the camera, and you can see it's the old style. I'll call it the old style. Pete 389, 379 interior. You've got some really nice newer seats, Atlas 2 Elite. They match. I'm gonna sit on this one. Okay, and it's not, well, you know what? I don't think it's leather. It's hard to tell. Nowadays, some of the plastic leather is so good, it's hard to tell. I would call these pleather, but it's a really nice quality and fully adjustable. Okay, let me take you outside to have a listen to the engine running. You'll see here we've got no check engine lights. The truck is going to come DOT certified, cold air, no leaks, no lights, and ready to go to work, DOT inspected. We got a standard Cobra radio. I'm just going to put this up on fast idle. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we got the idle up just a little bit. Oil pressure's good, RPM's about 800, and let's have a listen. No blow by there to talk about. The fan is running, I think, because we've got the air conditioning on. Should give you a decent overview of the truck. We've got some upgraded LED or projector style headlamps, and we've got, I just see, dual roof mounted air horns. So nice truck overall, a little bit higher mileage, but generally speaking, the PACCAR engine, according to PACCAR, I'm just going to turn this off so you can hear me talk. Dome light. The PACCAR engine, according to PACCAR, has a, it's called a B, let me think about this, B10 life of 1,000,000 miles, which means that 90% of the PACCAR engines should last 1,000,000 miles. So this one has 90% chance of making it to 1,000,000 miles without any type of a major repair, major overhaul. We're talking overhaul, we're not talking other types of repairs like turbo injectors, water pumps, and things of that nature. But from an overhaul standpoint, my experience, the PACCAR engines have been reliable, and they do not blow up, and they don't leak oil. They have other stuff like a lot of the other trucks in regards to check engine lights, but I would state that the engines themselves work well. So there's a good overview of the truck. I'll put the specs in the advertisement. Have a look through. If you have questions about the truck, feel free to give me a call on my toll-free line at 844-489-8789, and I hope to hear from you soon. It's Rob at Next Truck Sales. Bye for now.